All right, guys, welcome back to Fly Fish Live. We're joined here with Santeri, Kinnunen and Peter Driver, and our special guest today is Jarkko Suominen, who's the Finnish fly fishing team captain. So welcome, guys. Let's head down to Santeri first. How are you, mate?
Very well. Just really hot here. You don't believe it.
And how are the conditions there? It looks like there's a lot of water coming through.
Yeah, unfortunately they are not the best possible. It was really heavy rain for a couple of days and water is really dirty and pretty high. So fingers crossed, hopefully the fish are still here.
Yep. Do you have any expectations? Do you have a number in your head that you think you might get to or you're aiming for?
Yeah, one more than Peter.
Nice. All right. Well, the weather looks perfect over there.
Yeah.
Where are you fishing?
This is my home river, River Vanta. So this is in Helsinki. Yep. And this actually was the place where Helsinki was established by this river like 500 years ago. But there's a dam in the other side of the stream, so that's a little bit bad. But you can see this current upstream, so the trouts and salmons can get up from here. So it's actually a famous place for catching really big trouts and salmons, this place. But I try to my best not to hook the very big ones.
We could see a bit of fun if you're trying to chase down a big fish in there. All right, well, let's head over to Peter. How are you, mate?
How's it going?
Good, buddy. Like, where are you fishing over there?
I'm down in on the River Nore, the lower River Nore, down between Thomastown and Innishteague and Kilkenny.
Yep. How far down was this? A similar beat that you fished in your last game?
I'm down a long way from there, so it could be about 10 kilometers, maybe lower.
Yep.
I've been very close to where Mark fished his round against Dave, and maybe 3 beats below that again.
Okay. And how are the conditions there?
Yeah, they look pretty good this morning. We had a lot of rain here last night. There was a yellow rain warning, so you know, all night long watching the water levels. Fingers crossed it didn't. You know, it fell right for us. It freshened up the river a little bit, but certainly not as bad as it could have been. So some of the rivers around the south and southeast of Ireland are out the banks at the moment. Like, so we're very lucky right now to have a bit of water we can fish. You know.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck, guys. Second semi-final. Winner of this will go on to play against David O'Donovan from Ireland. And I'll let you guys get into position. And remember, catch a fish. You guys know the drill. Catch a fish, hold it up, yell out fish, and the controller can then say fish, just so we get the confirmation and we can see. And the scores will be reviewed after the match. It's just a preliminary score, but the final score will be put up at the end of the match. So good luck. Get into position, and I'll introduce a bit of a chat to Jarkko. All right, Jarkko, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Josh?
Good, man. You're looking nice and relaxed over there. You're on holidays, aren't you?
Yep, I'm on holiday right now.
Nice. Now, do you know these guys? Have you?
Yeah.
I know you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Santeri. I've fished with him, competed with him like 20 years, and now he's part of our national team. And of course, I've met Peter in the World Championships before many times. So yeah, I know both of them.
If we can just get Camilla, can you let Santeri know that he's got to start on the bank?
Yeah.
Yeah, just so he's got to start on the side of the river on the bank.
Sun pitää aloittaa. You have to start on the bank. Yep.
Yeah. The rules are you have to start from the bank. Sorry, I didn't clarify that one. Okay, yeah.
No worries.
Back to Jarkko. Now I've got a few people that knew you were coming on today, and I've got a few questions thrown into me. And
Oh, okay, cool.
so we'll start with the first one before the guys get started. What's your favourite place that you've ever fished around the world? Anywhere that you've been to?
I would probably have to say New Zealand, or the other one is Cuba. Totally different places and totally different fishing, but I would have to go either or. Yeah.
The scenery, or is it the size of the fish?
Also the scenery, not just the size of the fish, but also the fishing itself. I enjoy, let's say, a visual type of fishing. I enjoy fishing with dries a lot, or something close to the surface. You can see the strikes. I like to fish for sighted fish that I've spotted before. So all of that, you can do that when in saltwater fishing, or you can do that in crystal clear rivers as well. So I enjoy both of them.
Is that a method you usually use in your competition fishing?
No, sight fishing is not always in competitions. You do a lot of blind casting with nymphs and with dries, with streamers. It's more of when I go fishing just for fun. I try to go and find a big fish and land it. So
yeah, nice. Now, right, let's we'll head back to the competitors.
Yep.
The competitors, we've got like 1 minute until the whistle goes. So I'll give you about I'll give you a 30-second warning, and then we'll blow the whistle and away you go.
Sorry, Josh.
Yes.
We can't see the time clock.
I'll
We can't see
block
the
out
fish point app sign is in its way. It's right in front. If you can lift it. No. We can't see.
I'll get that up. We'll get it going in a minute, and then I'll.
It's okay. It's okay. I got my stopwatch, but I'd like to see the official stuff.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated on the time. All right. Are we ready?
Ready, Pete?
You ready? And there.
Go.
All right. We're
there we
into
go.
it. Have you,
Yeah.
Marco? Have you fished this river that Santeri's fished?
Actually, no. I've walked the banks of it, but not fished it. It's quite far from where I live, so
Yeah.
Fish on for Peter. Fish in the net.
Fish in the net for Peter. An early
that was a
one.
quick start.
Very
Took
quick.
like 25 seconds.
Yeah. I remember Dave's last game. He landed one first cast in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, are the rivers quite similar up where you are? You're up in the middle of Finland somewhere, aren't you?
Yeah. I live in the middle of Finland, near Jyväskylä, and well, what you can see now on where Santeri is fishing, it's type of fast water, white water, although it's a little muddy now. But most of the rivers, until you go like way high up in the northern part of Finland, they are quite similar in structure.
We've got Robbie Fallon here. Agree, New Zealand is top. But Wakapapa River, have you been there?
Wakapapa?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was down.
Fish.
Fish in the net for Santeri. Yep.
Yeah, while I was in New Zealand in 2008 when the Worlds were in there, yeah, we fished it. It was not one of the competition rivers, but yeah, we fished it. Yeah.
Nice. Now you've been captain of the fly fishing team for how many years?
For 3 years, and this is my fourth. The first one I captained, I was also competing, but the last two I've been just a captain, not competing myself anymore.
Yeah. There's a couple more questions here. Is what's the best thing you find about competition fishing? What do you like about it the most?
I really enjoyed it because it challenges you as a fisherman.
Yeah.
If you
Fish on for Peter. Fish in the net.
Fish for Peter.
there we go.
On Pete.
You have to keep learning. You have to keep making yourself a better angler, because all the other guys and girls competing, they are doing the same. So if you want to be consistent and stay on the top, you just need to keep improving.
Yep. Now, if we're looking at Santeri, would you be fishing in the same sort of area, looking at that water?
Yeah, that's actually. I said I haven't fished it, but I know the river because we are.
Fish on for Peter.
Fish in the net.
Fish in the net for Peter. Yep.
Yeah, our national team we are doing fly fishing courses in the river and so, and actually the place where Santeri is fishing now, it's one of the spots you might hook a really huge brown trout.
Double fish.
Double for Santeri.
Double for Santeri. That's it. 55. Nice. Double.
And I was talking with Santeri before the match, and he said that there's been a whole bunch of big fish being caught in the last couple of days because the water is now a little bit higher. The fish are moving.
So if he wants to catch smaller fish in that river, and there's a lot of bigger fish in there,
Fish.
fish for Santeri. If he wants to try and stay away from those big fish because of the time game, is he going to use completely different flies?
Yeah, he's going with small flies, nymphs, probably targeting the smaller fish. I think there's like 43 species living in that river or something like that. It's like almost all the species you can get in Finland you can find in that river. So he's probably catching a whole number of species in there as well. Not just numbers, but also different species.
We've got Dex Kinnunen. He must be, is that river flooded where Santeri's fishing, or is that the normal color?
Well, it's higher than usually at this time of year, and definitely a slight colored. It's always a little bit colored, but this close to the sea, but now it's more colored and a little bit higher than usual. We've had a lot of rain in like last 2-3 days. I was actually fishing myself, and there was a lot of rain.
Double.
Double for Santeri.
Yeah, you see him.
Down 5-3.
You see him waving on the air with the net because he had the first one in the net, and then he was trying to land the other one to the net.
So we got 54. Yeah. So here's a question for you. Do you think the sport of fly fishing, recreational and competition, do you think it's growing?
I would guess so. I would say so. At least in Finland, there's been a number of people coming into the sport, and I would guess the situation is similar across the globe. Of course, I can't be sure of what's happening in all the countries. Then again,
Fish.
Fish for Santeri.
yeah. Then again, now with all
Peter's
happening. Okay.
Fish in the net, Peter.
Fish in the net for Peter.
All that's happening now with the coronavirus and all, so fishing is type of sport where what you might actually be able to do to keep the social distance if things go sideways. So
Yeah. And Finland's been quite lucky. I know back there in Tasmania, they actually shut down the fishing.
Fish.
Fish for Santeri.
yeah, I heard that was the situation in many other countries as well, not just in Tassie, but in Europe as well. But luckily in Finland we didn't have that. Well, of course we're quite sparsely populated, so everybody has their space to go fishing.
Fish.
Fish for Santeri. Now, if you're in Santeri's position here, he's caught, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 fish from that one rocky section. Would you just stay there until you stop, or is there a certain time you move on?
Yeah, there definitely seems to be some sort of school of fish. Can't really see the species from this picture, but there seems to be a school of fish. So you wanna make the most of it. If it slows down, then he'll probably go and start moving again. But he seems to be catching a few now, so he'll probably stay there for a while.
Yeah. Do you yourself? Do you only fly fish, or do you use other methods of fishing?
I use
fish in the net.
Fishing the net for food.
Fish for Santeri.
Fish for Santeri. Wow.
If we're gonna go this pace, we're gonna make a new record.
I don't know if I've got enough numbers if this keeps up.
Just start over, you know.
Ian Jones has just jumped on and said, "Tell Peter to put 3 flies on. It might help keep up with Santeri's double man."
He's probably fishing, or both of them are probably fishing 2 or 3 flies. That's a very, very common method when you go comp fishing.
Is that what you use? 2 flies?
Depends on the technique, of course. If you go with dries, then you use 1 or maybe 2. When you go with nymphs, you can do from 1 to 3, usually 2 or 3 probably.
Yeah.
And if you go with streamers, you can also go from 1 to 3, but probably you're using 2 or 3.
Yeah. Do you often use like a dry and dropper?
Oh, that's also a good method. And then you might use 1 or 2 droppers depending on the depth you're fishing. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, but the last question, if I'm only fly fishing or doing other style of fishing as well.
Fish on for Peter.
Fish on for Peter.
In the net.
In the net.
Yeah.
While I was actively competing,
10-6 reel down.
I did basically only fly fishing, but
Fish.
Fish in the net.
Yeah.
Yep.
But since I stopped the competition fishing, I've also started doing other styles of fishing, mostly spin fishing with pike, perch, zander, stuff like that. So
yeah. What's your biggest fish you've landed on the fly?
Depending on which species you're going, but that would be, if you take just one fish that's ultimate biggest, that would be the tarpon from Cuba.
Oh, nice. That would have taken a long time to get in.
That's something like 15
Fish.
minutes. It was
Fish for Santeri.
Yeah, it was about 100
Fish
pounds.
for Peter.
Fish for Peter.
Fish in the net.
Fish in the net. Yep. About 100 what? 100 pounds or?
Yeah, 100 pounds.
Yeah. What would you say out of your career so far? What would you say your best achievement has been?
Well, of course, there's the team silver from Sweden. Oh, Santeri just lost one, a little bit bigger one. He played it for a while.
No, it was the bottom.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, so the team silver from the World Championships in Sweden, and then another one is the 3 national championships in Finnish nationals. So
nice. Now, if you had, is there a dream destination that you'd like to go and you haven't been yet? Is there something on the list that you want to go to that you haven't been?
Oh yeah, for
Fish.
sure.
Fish for something.
There's
Yep.
so many places to fish, but I think one that I would really like to go is I would like to go on Seychelles, fish for giant trevally and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
they're badass fighters. I haven't tried that yet, so that's one thing that I would like to do.
Fish.
I remember my brother went to oh, where was it? Like I don't know, but he ended up catching a giant trevally that was 37 point something kilos.
That's big one. That's big one.
On the fly, but it was a big fish.
Yeah.
When did you start your competition fishing?
Fish.
Fish for some.
I started competing in 1999. Might have done something in 98. No, it was 1999. Yeah.
Yeah. What this is one that we haven't had too many captains involved at the moment, but as a captain, like how do you prepare like for competitions? Do you have a set routine?
Fish.
As a captain or as a competitor?
As a captain, if you're not competing at the same time, as a captain, how do you prepare your team? Is it something that you do, or?
Yeah, well, of course, we try to practice beforehand as much as possible. Try to find whatever techniques, flies, what type of water we're going to fish in, and then we want to have a game plan.
Yeah.
Maybe game plan A, B, C, and so on. And everybody, I want to have everybody kind of comfortable with the game plan. They know what they're doing. They know they have confidence in the flies they're using, and then we all go with the game plan. And stick to it. Of course, during the competition, we're getting more information on what's happening, and we might need to adjust our game plan according to that. But we still, as a team, we have a plan and we go with it. If it fails, it's on me, and if it goes well, then we have a happy team.
As a captain, like what role do you play while there's sessions
Fish.
on? You talk fish for Santeri?
Yep.
You talk to them while you're allowed to talk to them while they're fishing? Do you talk to them and say, look, this is a good spot, or
18-7. 18-7.
Yeah. The captain is allowed to talk to the competitors, and of course I can be only at one spot at a time, so that's also one thing to figure out before the competition is that where I can be of most use during the competition. So I pick a session, a place, or something that I can help the competitors, and then I can give all kinds of advice, not material help, but advice on where, how, how to keep on schedule. You want to have a game plan also for the session, how much time you're gonna spend in different places and so on. Of course, everybody tries to keep track of the time while they're fishing, but it might be a lot easier for somebody staying on the bank to keep track of time.
Oh,
Sorry, there's so much noise coming from one of the competitors that I didn't catch the question.
Fish.
Yeah.
As a captain, do you tend to stick with the guys that are more new to the team, that sort of share it around?
It depends a lot, but yeah, usually I spend at least a session or two with the new guys, because all of it is new to them.
Yeah.
How the whole competition is structured. Of course, they've been competing in Finland for a long time, but they might have not been in the Worlds or the Euros before. So just to make sure that everything is going smoothly with them. But of course, somebody gets real cozy real fast, and they don't need my help in that sense anymore. So, but that's also one thing to keep in mind. Who needs your help, and because of what reason? It might be that somebody's going to a tough stretch, to a tough place, and they've been competing for
Fish.
10, 15, whatever years, but they just ask your help. I know it's a tough place. I could really use your help there, and then I need to plan according to make the decision that where I can be of most use.
Yeah.
Fish chance for Peter.
This one for Peter.
Dropped.
Double.
One drop and one double. That's so. With the what Santeri fishing now, do you expect him to catch more just at the bait?
Yeah, I think now he's fishing a little bit slower water, so there's probably not that many trout in that water.
Fish.
It's more of maybe perch or roach or something like that in that type of water.
I'll ask. Mitä kalaa sä saat? Yeah, it's everything.
Okay, so he's catching everything. And like I said, he can actually catch pretty much everything because there's more than 40 species living in that river. So
yeah.
Fish.
He's done his homework and picked the right river by the look of it.
how big score sheet do you have?
I get up to 55 at the minute. Seeing there where Peter's fishing. He's on the road.
Can't see him right at the moment, but
Dave's trying to keep up with him.
yeah, he's just changing place, I guess. Yeah.
Looks like Santeri hasn't had to move far at all. He's moved like what, 30 meters maybe?
Yeah, something like that. So
Probably fished the whole hour.
yeah, and our ain't that much anyway. So
Yeah.
You don't wanna spend it too much running anyway.
What's your number one? If you're only allowed one pattern?
Sorry, Peter's moving, so there's so much noise coming. It blocks your question again.
If you're allowed one pattern to fish anywhere in the world, and you're only allowed to use that one pattern, what fly would you use? Do you have one in mind?
Yeah, pretty much. I would go with a black woolly bugger with a orange bead. You can use that in a small size, or you can do that in a huge size, and you can probably do anything from a tarpon to grayling or roach or whatever.
Sorry, fish for Santeri.
For Santeri.
Yeah.
So a black woolly bugger with an orange head, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my go-to fly.
Does that one come out in competition very often?
In some places, yeah. Looks like Santeri.
No, flying fish.
Flying fish, but not in the net. Yeah.
Peter's had to cover some ground here, and he's.
Yeah, it might be that the rain he was talking about that raised up the river a little bit might have some effect there. Santeri hooked on to something bigger. Yeah, a little bit.
Fish.
Fish for Santeri. Yeah, so that.
Mikä on ahven
Perch.
Perch.
Yeah, perch.
The weather does play a massive role. You're saying with fishing, like
yeah,
be the yeah.
Well, in that sense, both of the guys had heavy rains before this semifinal. So
if you were to fish a river right now, not looking at the scores, if you were to fish a river right now, what out of those two to pick from, which one would you go to?
Well, depends. Should I be in a competition or should I fish for fun?
Competition.
Well, Santeri's place looks pretty good right now, so.
Fish. So we got just over 34 minutes to go. That's more than.
Tuut sä takaisin tänne?
He's got 3 doubles. Really pushed him way up there.
Yeah, so Santeri.
Yeah, he messed up his fly.
Yeah, he's gonna fetch another rod. He has a big tangle, I guess. So
yeah,
go and run up, get another rod, and come back. How many rods, like if in the World Championships, how many rods do you have set up ready to go? Something like that. It depends on your game plan. What sort of techniques do you need to be using? You want to have a setup for each one of those. Was that a fish for Peter? Fish for Peter. I'll just mark that one.
Fish for Santeri.
There, Dave. Fish for Santeri. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter, I've marked that one. That one will be reviewed.
Fish.
Fish for Santeri. And when you change rods, do you have, is it like a mental thing at all that this rod it feels better than the other, even if it's the same brand and same size and everything?
A lot of the guys they use same rod for same situation. So if you have like, let's say 2 nymphing rods, one for use and one for spare, they are the
Fish.
same rod. So
Santeri.
yeah.
I might have to
And
see.
then if you use another rod for nymphing and another one for dries, it's probably going to be a different rod anyway. Might be the same brand or a different brand, but it's going to be a different rod with different action. So
And with the setup, you say someone's coming in.
Fish.
Wow.
that's
With
a lot of fish.
Fine. Is there a setup? Is there a
Fish.
someone's never fly fish before and they're just starting out? Is there a certain setup that you would?
Chub. Apparently,
That's
Santeri has been getting a lot of chubs.
Yeah.
Chubby something.
That's a species that you don't have in many places in Finland.
Fish.
But, Vantaa River is one of them.
Yeah, coming back to that question, is there
Yeah.
a certain one for a beginner if they were to come to
Fish.
Well, that's a really good question because, well, if you want to go fishing with dries, that's easy to see. In some places, that's very effective, but you need to be able to get the fly moving,
Fish.
drifting freely, and so on. Nymphing, like these guys are doing, you're probably gonna catch a lot of fish, but that also takes some technique to master. The easiest way is probably go swinging flies, streamers, wets, something like that,
Yeah.
and it works. It works very good at sometimes, but then again, many times nymphs work a little bit better. So, but
Fish.
easiest way to start would probably be swinging flies.
is it for lakes and rivers? Is it like a 5 or 6 weight, 7 weight?
Yeah. Lakes usually, if you're fishing for rainbow and trout, it's usually something from
Fish.
6 to 8 weight that people are using, and rivers probably maybe from 4 to 6 or something like that, 4 to 7 class, depending, of course, where you're fishing,
Take your time.
what sort and what the size of fish you might be expecting.
Yeah.
It would be foolish to go and target. Sorry.
Are you there, Dave?
Yeah, no, just fish on for Peter.
Done for Peter.
Fish in the net.
Fish in the net. Well, what sort of rod size would these guys be using? What would you use in this situation?
I would guess they're
Yeah.
using something like two or 3 class rods for nymphing.
Oh, double fish actually. Double.
Double.
Double for Santeri.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are targeting for smaller fish now, so they want to have sensitive rods that also the smaller fish, they can fight and land really well. If you have a too heavy rod, it won't bend a lot when you have a small fish on, and you'll lose the fish pretty easily. And vice versa, if you have very light class rod and you're constantly hitting or getting on big fish, you're going to be in trouble because your rod just doesn't have enough power to fight.
Peter. There we go. On the other side there. And looking at Peter's water there, it looks a little bit dirtier.
Yeah, I think that looks slightly colored as well.
Is there a certain eye colour used in dirty water compared to clear water?
Well, usually
Fish on for Peter. Lost him.
Yeah, if you fishing the dirty water, you usually want to have something that the fish can actually see. So
Fish.
it's dark colors or something very bright colors. You usually use the natural colors in more clear water situations, to say.
A rod in each hand. John,
Oh, we're getting a close shot of Santeri fishing.
Fish on for Peter. Fishing in it.
Good job.
There's 21.5 minutes to go.
Oh, 25 left. Fine, one bus, please.
Someone asked again, how many
Right?
Sorry. Getting again the water sounds. Didn't hear the whole question.
Fish on for Peter. Fishing in it.
Maybe he's come across a little patch here. What I was up to is how many fish species roughly could there be in Santeri's area? Someone's asked the question.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's more than 40 living in that river, but I would guess he would have caught could have caught trout, roach,
Fish on for Peter. Fishing in it.
perch, days, chub. So he could, and quite a few more. So could be that he has more than 10 species. already.
No, he said 5 different.
Oh, okay. 5 species he has.
5 different species he's got.
Yeah.
We've got Muck Savage.
Mitä?
Camilla, are you there, Camilla? Are you there, Camilla? We can ask,
Yeah, I'm here.
what sort of percent of trout has Santeri caught?
Wait, sorry, what sort of what?
How many trout have Santeri caught out of this at the moment? Has he caught many trout?
I'll ask him. Kuinka moni trout sä oot saanut? A couple.
Couple. He's got a couple.
Eikö trout ole paimen?
Kyllä.
I mean, looking at Peter's water there, Jaakko, would you be fishing on the far side?
It's the camera is
Fish.
such a yeah. Camera is so far out that it's kind of hard to say from here that it's better to fish from the other bank or this side, but I would reckon that
Fish.
since he's on the other side, it's definitely the place to be. He's an experienced angler, so I would guess that he picks the spot that's best. So.
The Noah River? No.
No, I haven't.
Fish.
I haven't. No.
It'd be nice if Santeri hooks up on one of those big salmon that.
Yeah. It would be kind of cool to see him hook up a big salmon or a big trout. I think his biggest salmon from there is 15 point something kilos. Yeah. And I think his biggest trout from there is 84 centimeters. So that's pretty big as well. So
Get rainbow trout in this.
Fish on for Peter.
Peter.
yeah, but it's all stocked. Yeah.
Gone, lost.
Lost the fish. Unlucky. Bigger one of Dave.
I think Camila was just fighting a big fish, big trout, just a couple of days ago.
Fish on for Peter.
Time for Peter, yeah.
Fishing in it.
Fishing that. We see some evidence of that one. One of her friends, Erica, did a video and said,
Yeah, I actually had a really big trout on in the exact same spot where Santeri is standing last week. It was like maybe 80 centimeters.
now he's trying to trouble.
Fish.
Fish. Okay. I was not prepared. Those numbers. This is.
I think that's already the most caught in a 1 hour session. Yeah. And still 20 more to go. So.
What else?
You're gonna cross there, Peter, okay? I'm gonna go in there.
Fish.
Peter's in a fish. Fish in the net.
Now it looks like Peter's fish might be a little bit bigger than the ones that Santeri are catching.
I think so. At least it takes a little bit more time for him to land them. So yeah.
With this murky water, ever gone for a swim in some murky water?
Oh yeah. It's easy to go for a swim in clear water as well, so doesn't need to be
How much
murky.
time is left, Josh?
We have 18 minutes and 35 seconds.
8 minutes. Sorry?
18.
We're behind.
Or is this river just fish?
So we're almost in the very city center of Helsinki. So we have some beautiful graffiti under a bridge. And then behind me, we have a restaurant and a terrace and people drinking beer. And then we have a street food festival on the other side. Fish.
As you can see, Santeri is fishing most of the time. He's fishing and holding the net in his other hand, just because he's catching quite big numbers fish, and the fish are fairly small. So you want to be real fast. Otherwise, you'll drop quite a few of them. So that's why
Fishing in there.
That's why he's fishing with a steady length of line and the net on the other hand.
What is that length of line?
Fish.
Sorry, I didn't catch that one.
What length of line to fish with would you suggest is the sort of a good length?
That would depend on the place and of course the skills of the fisherman as well. You don't want to have it too long. Depends on the length of the rod as well, because you need to be able to control the flies during the whole trip. So if you have too much line, you can cast it far out, but you'll lose the control as the flies come closer. But so I would say it's around
Fish.
2 lengths of rod or something like that. But
It seems like it's got a bit down. Looks like it's pushing up, and when you do things like that, is it a big up or downstream?
Fish on for Peter.
Peter?
Fish in the net.
didn't quite catch all of it. You were asking something about going upstream or downstream.
Fish.
Fish up, Peter.
Peter,
Fish in the net.
and Peter's fishing upstream. Is
Yeah.
that a what's the best method? Do you use upstream fishing or downstream fishing, or it just depends where you are?
Depends a little bit where you are, and of course also the species you're targeting.
Fish
When you're
down,
going,
Peter. Fish in the net.
when you're going for trout, you usually go, and you go with nymphs, you usually go upstream. Grayling, perch, roach, all type of species like that. They don't mind that much which way you're going, so it's, of course, it's easier, faster to go downstream than upstream. So
Yeah.
that's why Santeri is probably going downstream, and then Peter is probably catching most of them trout, so he's going upstream. And of course, the
Fish.
color of the water
Santeri.
is also a factor.
Yep. No, I've actually run out of numbers.
Just
I'll have to keep the
start over. He's at 55, and then start adding from 1. So
let's do that. You've actually got the scoreboard.
because the vision of fish is so that they can't really see behind them, and they're standing in a current. They're standing head upstream. So when you approach them from behind, you're coming from downstream. They can't really see you.
Fish.
Fish Santeri.
But
Fish on, Peter. Fish Fishing in the net.
In the net.
But in a murky water, they won't see you coming from upstream either.
Yep.
So
Fish.
Fish. All right. The World Championships next year, mate.
yeah,
You really
Fish on. Fish in the net. Peter.
looking forward to it.
yeah, we were already looking forward to it this year, as it was supposed to be in like 2 weeks, but since what's all happening around the world, we know why it's postponed till next year. Hopefully everything will calm down and we get to fish it next year. And but yeah, we're really looking forward to it. It's been quite a while since the Worlds were in Finland. So
When was the last time it was in?
in 2007, and before that it was 1989.
Fish on. Fish in the net.
But yeah, next year in August 2021, we'll have the World Championships in Finland in Kuusamo area, where actually Santeri and Lionel were fishing around that area in their previous match. So everybody who watched that match have already seen some of the water. So
do you expect high numbers up in the Worlds next year? Do you expect the high numbers of fish?
yeah, for sure. The rivers are holding quite a good population of grayling, so there will definitely be.
Santeri is now gonna try for a big fish, apparently.
He's being sure of himself, I guess.
Got just under 10.5 minutes to go.
10 minutes, please.
10 minutes.
Fish on.
Fish
Nice
on.
fish.
Nice
Fish in the net.
Fish in the net. Now what would you do? What would you do if you wanted to catch a big fish?
He's gonna change his setup a little bit, go for big streamers, I guess, and try to hook a big trout.
Do you think the black woolly bugger with the orange head will come out?
Probably not that one, but something.
Fish on.
Fish on.
Fish in the net.
Net for Peter. Peter had a little gap there where he had a bit of a tough time. Now he looks like he's found a nice little spot where there's some fish.
Yeah, he's been catching quite a few now.
Fish on. Locked.
You still got it?
Doesn't look like Santeri went for streamers, so he's probably going with a bigger nymph or woolly bugger or something like that. And he knows the river really well, so he's just targeting a spot that there usually is a big fish.
Yeah. Now, if you're fishing, do you bounce it along the bottom for the big ones, or do they usually sit sort of halfway, or?
That really depends. When the fish are active, they are somewhere higher in the water column, but when they're just lying still, then they're on the bottom. They might still come up and take the fly, that is somewhere higher in the water, but usually trout don't like it when it's bouncing on the bottom. They really like it to drift more or less freely.
What would you prefer? Do you prefer lake fishing or river fishing?
Sorry, we're getting a lot of water sounds from Peter as he's moving through the current now. So. He is going with the pace.
Bear with me, guys. Bear with me.
As a controller,
How much time left?
Yeah, so. No, not at all at the moment. Yeah.
Kuusmina.
Rivers or
I fish more in the rivers. That's definitely more popular in Finland when fly fishing. I mean, to fish on the rivers than on the lakes. I know that, for example, in Tassie, I think is the opposite. Probably in UK, in many places as well. But in Finland, it's the rivers for sure.
Fish up, Peter. Fish in the net.
With the weather, were you guys prepared for that? Were you expecting?
Well, yeah, we knew that the weather can be harsh. So
Fish in the net.
we were prepared for that, and we are used to harsh weather up here in Finland as well. So we're used to fishing for sealing ground trout and pike and stuff like that in around the 0 degrees temperatures and so on. So
behind.
4,5.
That a fish in the net?
Niin. Jos haluat saada 60, niin sulla on 2 jäljellä.
Someone jumped on here. Jaco, he said if you prefer rivers, why are there 3 lakes in the world?
Fish.
yeah, sorry, it was something about the venues for the worlds, I guess.
Yeah, he said if you prefer rivers, over here in Finland, how come there's 3 lakes?
Fish.
The World Championships.
I don't make any decisions regarding the venues. That's why.
Yeah.
The organizers do that, so can't really change that.
Just over 3 minutes to go.
Peter,
Fish for
just a
Peter.
minute.
The net.
Come on, Pete. 27. 27.
Just under 3 minutes to go.
3 minutes. Come on, 2 more.
Had a little stint here at the end, doesn't he?
Peter can go over 30.
We've seen how quickly these guys can actually catch fish, and I know it shocked me, and I think it's shocked a lot of other people as well. Do you guys like study a lot of where
Fish for Peter, fish in the net.
that? Is it more just from experience, or do you actually get out there and do some?
I got some of the question again, but
The question was when you're like going a fishing a certain area, you do a lot of study on how that fish feeds, where.
yeah, of course, as much as possible. Try to find all the information beforehand that we can. Get local guides, get local help, interview people that have been there, and so on. Try to get as much information beforehand than it's just possible.
Fish for Peter,
Peter,
fish in the net.
he's really making a comeback here.
Minuutti.
1 minute to go.
1 minute, Pete.
Robbie Fallon is the winning trout score.
Sorry.
We got Robbie Fallon. He said 20 trout score. A lot of wind.
Yeah, a lot of noise coming through from there, but
20 seconds to go.
Fish in the net.
Yeah, time.
Well,
Haluatko mennä tuonne ylös?
Wow. So, Jakob, did you expect this?
in the net.
yeah, it's a big number.
You don't want to know.
So there you can see the terrace that Camilla was mentioning.
37 trout
Tässä on sintti enemmän kyllä tolla ääntä.
made last week.
Joo, en mä... Niin, mut kuuluu enemmän tolla ääntä.
Great fishing from Santeri. So,
68.
head over to Peter.
Haluatko me voidaan tehdä tolla? Näette itse.
Are you there, Peter?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm just going to turn this around.
Press siinä.
I can hear you there now, buddy.
Yeah. How you feeling, mate?
Sure, look it. You know, sorry, go on.
Meneekö ylöspäin tai alaspäin?
So it was kind of, you know, I knew it was going to be chipping away on him.
Yeah.
But all I could hear was fish on the commentary. So put some pressure on straight away. But look, at 30 fish in an hour, you know, it's you know what I mean? That's what I kind of knew. I have to get at least 30 fish to be what I would have expected to be close. Didn't expect that kind of a number, 60 fish. Like, that's a lot of fish, like, in 1 hour, 60 minutes, you know. So fair play, well won. And yeah, best you know, best angler won on the day.
Yeah, and like, I suppose the conditions and the species of fish that you target, that they can play a big role in it by the looks of it. And,
absolutely. Look, it can, and just suppose it's one of the, you know, the challenging parts of a competition like this. You've got to select your water, you got to do your homework. You're also, you know, kind of lapping the guys with water conditions, how fish behaviour. So, you know, you pick your best beach, you fish it as best as you can. And if you come out at the end of the hour on top, well and good. If you don't, you know, as long as you can hold your head up and say, well, look, I gave it a crack. I didn't, you know, and that's it. I certainly didn't drop too many as I did the last day. Didn't meet many more. I wasn't meeting a lot of fish, bar, you know, the few I got, and a few more on top of that. But like, you know, probably to be a pick, even at a it wasn't going to be this.
yeah.
Yeah.
We can just yeah.
Hey, Dave. Stick that cable there.
Yeah, so you had a bit of a comeback there. Did you miss many fish, Peter?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not a lot. Not a lot. A few little small ones in kind of margins, stuff like that. But certainly no great numbers. I might have met in total maybe 40 fish, maybe mid 40s even. Put 30 on the scorecard. I said, you know, if this beat was fishing absolutely exceptional, you could have pushed 50. Maybe on an exceptional red day, 55. But no, I didn't meet 60 fish anyway. So, you know, happy enough with me conversion rate. You know, not too much, too many drop fish and stuff like that. One or a couple along the way, but not too major. Probably hearing the score ticking along in Finland certainly added to the pressure.
Yeah.
I made you kind of rush a few things a bit more, but kind of at the very start, I was expecting it to be a little bit hotter than it was. You know, I was expecting to be meeting a few more, and then kind of up the first run I did up that stretch of water. When I kind of got up to the midsection, whereas I was expecting it to be, you know, the best of it, turned out they weren't just there, like, you know, they weren't, or they were shut, one or the other weren't interested in taking. So it was very slow and got into the neck of the top on the far side, then start getting a bit more action there, but game was well and won, dusted at that stage. You know, so just trying to make a score to make myself feel a little bit better tonight. But hey, look, at 30 fish, that's you know, what more can I do?
Yeah, that's
It's a good number. Congrats.
pretty good scoring, and especially with the trout. So all your fish were trout, were they?
All wild brown trout, yeah.
And what sort of size?
Averaging 20 centimeters, few smaller, few bit bigger.
Yeah.
Hit one good fish there, all right, he popped off, but no harm because it would have been a bit of a play. He was a real good fish in the heavy current, so I don't mind that too much if it's, you know, this kind of a tournament. Pop off on those big guys. But no, averaging around 20 centimeters, few smaller, few bigger.
Yeah, that's well. Anyway, mate, well done.
Thank you.
A little bit unlucky. Santeri looks like he went out.
Well done,
and yeah, we'll jump across to Santeri now. And are you there, mate?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Buddy, 60 fish in 1 hour. Wow. Were you expecting that?
No, fish were really biting now. I was thinking that maybe 30 is possible, but they were really biting today.
Yeah, we saw that. And we saw you catch 4 doubles as well.
Yeah.
Does that happen very often in that river?
Sometimes, not that often.
Yeah. What did you catch many trout?
Few, not many.
Not many trout. What was your biggest one?
Maybe 35 centimeter.
Yeah. Nice. So this is your home river, so you've actually you know that river pretty well by the look of it.
Yeah, this is the place I hold fly fishing courses every year, so I know it really well.
Yeah.
There was a big trout in that deep hole. I saw it one time rising. You noticed that I didn't catch anything else from that deep hole, but it didn't take the fly.
Okay. Now you're going to come up against David O'Donovan in the grand final, and are you thinking you're going to fish the same river, or do you have any plans?
Let's see. Depends on the weather and when the game will be. So we'll see.
All right, nice. Well done, mate. 60 fish in an hour. I think. I had to go back over. You clocked my scoreboard, so I'm going to have to go and buy some more numbers. I know that Dave caught a lot last week, and also Peter was saying that if that beacon fish was good, he could get up to 50, 55 on a good day. So I'm going to have to go and get some more numbers on the scoreboard, ready for the final, I think. Well done, and great effort. And we just want to say another big thank you to Jarko. Thanks, mate, for coming on board.
Thanks for having me, and then congrats both guys. 30 fish, 60 fish, both are great numbers in 1 hour.
That's amazing fishing. Well, anyway, we'll leave it there. Well done, Santeri. Well done to Peter. Great fishing from both guys. It was great to watch, and
Well done, boys. Good fishing, Santeri.
we'll
Up in the final.
Yeah, we'll try and catch up with you guys maybe during the week and have a quick chat. But Finland versus Ireland in the grand final. It's going to be a good one, I think. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, and I will try to catch the big trout. I will send you a picture if I catch it.
All right. Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Bye, everybody.
We'll catch up with you from all of us here at Fly Fish Live. We'll see you in the grand final. See you soon.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.